But why don't Filipinos, why is the news so much worse? Why are Filipinos much more skeptical than the foreigners?
Because we've been here. We're here. We've had how many decades of bad news during post Marcos. We haven't had a lot of
more than 25 years, right? We're coming on the post EDSA. Okay.
Right, and during the time of Ramos, he was just arranging and trying to improve the economic picture. He was trying to liberalize industries.
Correct. But it's interesting you go back to the time of President Ramos, because again, as a reporter covering this region for a long time, I don't think I've felt this kind of optimism about the Philippines since the time when Ramos called it the tiger economy, right? Do you see parallels between the time of Ramos and the time of Aquino?
I think so, but this one is more, as far as my dealings with investors or fund managers and C-level executives, it's cautious optimism.
Okay.
They like the message.
Because we've been here before.
Yes.
Yes. They like the message, but
they like the message. They support. They're very. I think they themselves have been burnt in the past.
Correct.
And they like to be inspired. They like to tell inspiring stories to their lenders,
correct,
to their investors.
Because they also make more money that way, right? So let's talk. We talked about some of the pluses of this administration. What about where it has failed or where it needs to improve?
Let's start with PPP.
Please, go ahead.
Which is
a cornerstone, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
In 2010, in the first SONA of President Aquino, he said that through PPP, big ticket items, which will help stir the economy and create growth, will be coursed through the PPP mode, public-private partnership.
Right.
And there was so much big, hype about PPPs.
Right.
And then 2011 happened. Nothing. I mean, it's just one. The Anghari is a very small 4 billion road. And now we're halfway through 2012. No new project has been.
Whose fault is that? I mean, if we were to look at it, it falls under Secretary Mar Rojas, right?
And Public Works.
Public Works.
Yes.
Okay. What we've seen is they had set a target of 8 to 10.
Right. Every year.
Every year. So right now, you've said they've only done one. What are the consequences if they don't push through with PPP, with approving these public-private partnerships? One
major industry that will be affected is tourism, which is again part of the economic strategy of the Aquino government.
Right.
They added a lot of airports there because they wanted to increase tourism arrivals, to double it to 6 million by 2016. But that's based on expectations or deadlines set for 2014, by 2014 there will be X number of airports available, and that can accommodate big aircrafts.
Correct.
And bring in a lot of
passengers. We cannot grow the tourist arrivals unless we have the infrastructure.
Right, because we're an archipelago. We're on the easternmost side of Southeast Asia, and almost all of our visitors arrive by air, unlike Thailand or Malaysia or Indonesia.
Right.
So and currently the aviation infrastructure is most still in Metro Manila, which has capacity constraints already. We still have Clark and Cebu, but those also have constraints because Manila is still the center of everything.
Let's go back to the Batasan Pambansa, because the president is walking down the hallway, getting ready to go to the podium to report to the Filipinos, to the Philippines, to actually take a look at what his government has accomplished in the last year and look at the road ahead. Can we get the pictures from Batasan? In the meantime, while he's walking down, Lala, you started talking about misses. again, it's clear that the trickle-down effect isn't quite there yet, and it seems like Filipinos don't quite believe the good news, as well as people from outside the Philippines, the international community. What other things does the president need to improve?
He has 6 years. He's very popular. He can actually make policies that help create jobs. And currently, most of the new jobs that are created are in the BPO sector, the outsourcing sector. But according to the ADB, that's not an inclusive type of job source. That's high level,
Yes.
etc. And most of our graduates are not geared up for that. We have like 5% only, or 10% of the applicants are taken in. So that's very low. We really need a manufacturing base, or something else.
Right.
If it's not tourism yet, because we don't have the infrastructure, something else.
What is preventing the growth of something like a sector like that? What is preventing it?
Let's take it from the point of view of someone who actually left.
Okay.
Ford.
Correct.
When we ran the story of Goodbye Ford,
Yes.
that stayed on our mood meter for a long time.
Angry.
Very red.
Yeah.
Yes, angry.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the X number of hundreds of jobs that were lost, but it's a symbol of something that we have missed.
Right.
Ford is in the auto industry.
Right.
There was a wave of opportunity, manufacturing opportunity last year because of the Thailand floods and the Japan twin
Tsunami. It's not,
disaster.
the disaster, the earthquake
and
then the tsunami. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So they were looking for alternative sites in Asia.
Where to go in Asia and in Southeast Asia? Yes.
We did catch a lot of them. Actually,
Okay, Lala,
Those
hold
like-
on a second. I think we're seeing the president walking up to the podium. Can we see pictures of that? Okay, our pictures are still coming in. I think we're having a little bit of problems with the transmission, but President Aquino is just about to approach the stage, and he is in front of the podium now. Again, so you were saying, Lala.
manufacturing.
Correct.
Right.
Back
We
to,
missed that.
Well, we missed a missed opportunity. In terms of what the government could have done during that time period, why did it miss it?
It's not only because of what it can do. It's also it has baggages of the past.
Okay.
The previous ones did not push policies that are manufacturing friendly.
Okay, so excuse me, Lala. We're live from the Batasan Pambansa. You're seeing live pictures. Let's listen to the national anthem of the Philippines.
Please remain standing for the nation's prayer.
Senate. President Aquino is standing at the front of Batasan Pambansa. He's flanked on his right by Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, on his left and let's listen in.
Diyos na may lalang ng sansinukuban, Inialay namin itong pagdiriwang na tigib ng pagpupunyagi at kadakilaan, tigib din ng husay at pagmamahalan.
Allah, na ugat ng katotohanan, turuan kami ng tamang salita at diwa. Kaunawa sa amin ang husay ng paramdam sa amin ang katahimikan at pagkakaisa. Ituro sa bawat isa sa amin ang tamang daan, ngayon, bukas at magpakailanman.
Panginoong may kapal, itawid niyo po ang inyong mga nilalang sa landas ng pakikipagsapalaran para sa pamilya at pakikipagbukluran para sa bayan, sa landas ng pagkakaunawaan at pagkakaisa tungo sa inyong kalwalatian.
Amang hari sa kataas-taasan, hinangin po ang lahing Pilipino. Gabayan niyo kami sa bawat araw upang maisagawa ang nararapat sa iyong bayan at maibisan ang kahirapan at maibandila ang katarungan.
Para sa lupang hinirang aming inang bayan at para sa inyong kaharian. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen,